go.
Okay, so here we are with the latest and greatest Pensar unit. We've added now more functionality to the display, so it's really replicating what a final product would look like, barring that you guys make changes. But so we have, just like we had before, we have a menu button, a start-stop button. This is the actual international symbol for standby. We also have when the pump is running, you can see that it does show activity here just like the existing pump, but this one's in color, which is a little bit nicer. We've actually got it running in a feedback loop now where it's turning on the pump. You can probably hear it if I shut up for a few seconds. So it's actually running a pump now, and we have a crude kind of tank and low volume pump. So it's turning off and on faster than it would normally do in a real life situation. And eventually we will hook up your full-size pump to see how it behaves. But basically everything's here. It's going back to the pressure transducer. It's got a set point in here of 40 inches of mercury, and it gets to that point, shuts off, and then when it drops, and of course it's dropping fast, we have a large leakage, it turns the pump back on immediately. So again, that's just a very crude feedback loop, but that all seems to be working. So if we press this button now, it goes into standby mode, shuts the pump off. Obviously there's no pressure. It shows the set points for the continuous pressures. And I'm going to go into the menu now. Tells you information like we saw before, all the temperature conditions, all the internal stuff, the state of the RAM, how much runtime it has. We can expand that screen to more data too. Then this is the security code or the password we enter in to get to the setup screen. So now we have the pressures, the high and low. These are the trip points at which it turns off and on. And if we turn this up, we should see it stay more in a tighter window, hopefully. Now we're going to turn it back on. And you can hear it. You can hear it cycling more. It's trying to maintain a tighter window of pressure instead of letting it drop down all the way. So this all seems to be working. The next stages we want to do is work on some of the cycle timing and all that, but I want to have a conference call so we can discuss like if we need to change any of this graphics, what other features we want to add in here, and then we can get a little bit clearer course of direction. The other thing we're going to work on is adding the data logger, so it every 5 seconds or every 10 seconds, whatever we choose, it'll update a file with all this information, save it on disk, save it on solid state disk, the SD card, and that's retrievable over the network. So that's all I have for today. Thanks.